Hi everyone! Welcome to the fifth and final video in my series on stress management. In the previous videos, which I've linked in the description below, we explored how we can use our stress red flags to identify our stressors, address these by changing and challenging our perceptions of the stressors, and finally how we can go about reducing and eliminating stressors. In this video, I want to take a more long-term view with you and explore how we can build our resilience. Now, resilience is a term that's used a lot, but it's often misunderstood. So people often believe resilience is the ability to face down stress and pressure, to really push through and to tough it out. And that is not what resilience is. What I've just described is very much the path towards burnout if it's done for too long. Resilience is more the capacity to recover quickly after a challenge, to be able to experience it, react, and then return to your usual state after the exposure to a stressor. And it's not a static state. I personally quite like to think about resilience as being akin to a gyroscope, where the outside might be turning around you and whirling, but inside it's very centered and stable. And I actually quite like to visualize a gyroscope when I'm feeling particularly stressed, as it gives me a moment to pause, to be able to externalize that stress that's coming on, reflect on my circumstances, and then go forward with a position of calm and stability inside. Now, I also want to stress that resilience isn't something that you either have or you don't have. It's something that you cultivate and build over time. And this resilience can often be built around four key pillars in our lives. And these are sleep, nutrition, exercise, and relationships. And these four pillars can together create a positive cycle of self-care that lets us recover from the impact of stressors and carry on with our lives. So I'll want to explore those with you in turn to see how you might go about building those pillars up in your life. So taking each one in turn, sleep. For those of you who know me, you will know how much I value my sleep. This is one of the things within my zone of control that I will do absolutely everything in my power to avoid disruptions to my sleep. And the reason for this is quite straightforward. Sleep gives you the energy that you need to get through your day, helps you think clearly, it embeds your learning and memory, and a good night's sleep can help combat the onset of a lot of serious physical and mental illnesses. And if you're as passionate about sleep as I am, then I highly recommend reading the book Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. And I've linked the book in the description below. And it really goes into a lot about the importance of sleep, why we sleep, how we sleep, and how we can get better sleep. But to summarize a little bit of that, giving yourself sufficient time every evening to be able to sleep. So if you know you're one to toss and turn, schedule that into the period, so add an extra hour on top of how much actual sleep you want to get. And build in a good routine prior to sleep, where you do sort of the same activity every night that gets you into that state ready to go to bed. Will really set you up for the following day. And because I'm not a medical professional, whenever I'll be making advice around what you might want to do, I've also linked to the NHS guidance in the description below that really guides you through, from a medical point of view, how you might go about doing these things. So do check out below how you can develop good sleep hygiene to get you started. So the next resilience pillar is nutrition. And this really goes hand in hand with good sleep. Eating well gives you energy, it supports your physical and mental health, and it also creates opportunities to have enjoyable experiences every day, every time that you have a meal or even just a snack. And eating at the right times in the day helps you then have a good sleep routine, and that helps you have a calm wind down in the lead up to sleep as well. So again, in thinking about eating well, I've linked to the NHS guidance below around how you might approach that and approach what's right for you with your nutrition. The third pillar to resilience is exercise, and this is both physical and mental exercise. And like with nutrition, this pillar is really enhanced by nutrition and good sleep. With both of those things, you have much more capacity to engage in exercise, And exercise in turn then helps you be tired out in a positive way, and that leads to both better digestion and also deeper sleep. And both physical and mental exercise can give your mind a break from the impact of the day, allowing you to channel any tension or residual feeling from your stressors into a separate activity, be it physical movement, a hobby such as painting or reading, or even learning a new thing like learning to play a musical instrument or doing a free online course. And the value of doing exercise, both again physical and mental, is that it can really give you that space that gives you perspective on the stress, and it expands your life beyond your stressors. So again, it can make it feel like that stress isn't as all-consuming as it might have before. So when it comes to physical exercise, once again, I've linked you to the NHS website below around how you should consider approaching exercise. And with mental exercise, it's really all about building in hobbies and learning opportunities for yourself to explore that passion outside of work. And the final pillar is relationships. So these relationships can be with a romantic partner, with friends, with family, with a community group, and they can be in person, online, or both. What's important is about having meaningful connections where you spend time with other people and you support other people and in turn are supported by them. And it's really because as humans, we're all social creatures and we all benefit from the feeling of being connected with other people. And relationships are not things that just happen to us. We're not just either good at relationships or not, like we're not just resilient or not. Relationships take time and effort, the same as the other three pillars. But like the other three pillars, relationships really do enrich our lives, and they are well worth the investment. So now you understand what the 4 pillars are. I want to guide you through an exercise to explore how you are currently in relation to those 4 pillars. So what I invite you to do is to grab a piece of paper and to draw out a diamond. When you've done that, draw a line to connect the 2 vertical points of the diamond and the 2 horizontal points of the diamond. And then write the word, going clockwise from the top, sleep, nutrition, exercise, and relationships at each point of the diamond. Now, when you've got that in front of you, see this as a scale for yourself. So the center point where the 2 lines overlap, that point is 0. And then each of the outer points where you've got your words are 10. So take a moment to reflect, where would you currently rate your pillars on a scale of 0 to 10? So how would you rate your current sleep, your current nutrition, your current exercise levels, and your current relationships? And what's really important is here, just take a moment to mark that on the scale and write the number next to it. Now, once you've got that, think forward to a time in the coming year. And this can be a completely random arbitrary number, such as 3 months from now, or it could be tied to a more significant moment in the year, such as your next anniversary or birthday. Now, imagine who you'd like to be at that time and how you'd like to be in relation to those 4 pillars. And again, just mark that onto your scale. I really want to stress to be realistic here. So recognize that it does take time to change habits. And if you're already feeling burnt out, then progress may be slow in trying to change your behaviors. And also, don't feel pressured to increase all of your points to 10 within a short period of time. That's not sustainable. Again, it takes time to build in habits. So if you want to improve on certain areas, think about maybe moving a couple of points rather than trying to max out the scale in everything. So with everything, I'd like to encourage you to challenge yourself, but in an achievable way. So with your current state and your future state marked on your piece of paper in front of you, I'd now like to invite you to reflect on how you can get from your current state to your goal. So for example, if you have, let's say, a 3 out of 10 of relationships at the moment, and you're aiming to get to 5, what are the sort of things that you could do to do that? Is there a local community group you could volunteer with to meet with new people? Is there a particular meetup for your favorite hobby? Just get all of your ideas down without filtering or judging any of them at this point. Explore all the different ways that you could get to each of your pillar goals. And once you've got your list of ideas, look down and then circle the ones that actually really excite you. So which ones are the ones that get you feeling kind of warm and fuzzy inside, like you just can't wait to get started on them? I'd recommend that you only pick one idea per pillar at the start. Because again, as I've mentioned before, it really does take time to build in new habits. And if we overload ourselves with the 50 different initiatives we want to try, most likely outcome is going to be that we burn ourselves out with the excitement and the change, and we don't end up doing anything at all. And once you've built those new habits, you can then have the space to consider other ideas that you then do one by one. And just to share with you, one of my key learnings from personally trying to build my own resilience has been that not all things have to be done all at once. It's okay to just pick out the thing that you want to try now, give it some time, and then try the next thing that you want to do. And with that in mind, the final phase of this activity is really once you get to that time frame that you designated as being your future point, so 3 months, your next anniversary, just have another try at this activity and see where you are now on the scale. It might be that you've made some progress, it might be that some things have stayed the same, it might even be that circumstances have meant that numbers slip down. That's fine, don't judge, just evaluate where you are then, set new goals, and try out new activities to get to those goals. And as always, remember that there's no perfect state of resilience. Resilience is something that grows and evolves with you. And building your resilience should sit alongside our stress management techniques. So we shouldn't just expose ourselves to unnecessary stress just because we can be resilient and recover quickly. It's something that goes hand in hand. We build our resilience so we can build our tolerance, but we also actively try and reduce our stress overall. And that brings this series on stress management to an end. I hope you found these videos useful. It's a really personal activity to go through managing your own stressors, and I hope that the activities we've explored over the past 5 videos have helped you identify ways that you can move forward and reduce any toxic impact from stress in your life. If you've got any tips on stress management that you think others would benefit from, please do share them in the comments section below. I'd love to read them and possibly even learn from you. So in any case, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in another video in the future. Bye.